This round had surprises o'plenty, and some great racing action, and a new race winner for the first time in 5 rounds, ending Stanton's win streak at 5. Rolling up to the grid, it was the customary number 53 of Dave Stanton heading towards the pole position, with the number 4 of Ken Hill on his GSXR 1000 next to him. Rob Mesa on another Gixxer 1K slotted in next, with Chris Siglin on the lone R1 on the front row, and then Kim Nakashima finishing off row 1. With the green flags flying, the top racers on the West Coast had one more shot at Formula Pacific glory, and it was Siglin off the line first, with Stanton, Mesa, and Hill in tow. Stanton assumed the point going inside Siglin into turn 2, and it was Hill fighting past Mesa in turn 2 as well, putting him into third place with sparks flying off his foot pegs in his quest to unseat Stanton as the dominator in the class. Out of the carousel for the first time, it is Stanton who has 6 bike lengths on Hill as the first 4 create a small gap over Nakashima and Mark Foster as they rocket down the back straight. Across the line for lap 1, it was Stanton with half a second on Hill, with Siglin and Mesa next. The number 86 of Foster is heading Nakashima a little further back. Foster looks fast and has some railing to do to catch the 4 ahead. Mike Ernest is next, over Scott Wilson, Dave Kunzelman from the 5th row, and David Guy. The battle continues as Stanton sets the pace up front, and Hill closes the gap going into turn 3. Siglin is about 1 second back, with Mesa just slipping off his tail. There is a large gap back to Foster, who is starting to leave Nakashima and the gang, who were in their own fight for the 6th spot. Exiting the carousel, Hill has taken away some of the gap and is within a couple of bike lengths of the leader Suzuki. A determined Hill is closing in on Stanton even more as he comes across the line just a tick back. Mesa is slipping off Siglin by a couple of bike lengths, and Foster continues his creep up towards the AFM number 3 rider and is getting close enough to start applying some pressure. Siglin is showing good speed and is maintaining his gap to Hill. Going into turn 3, Foster shows Mesa a wheel, but Mesa will have none of it and holds his line. The pair rail through the carousel, with Foster taking an outside line, looking for a good drive into the braking battle in turn 7. Foster makes his move and goes outside Mesa, cutting back across and grabs the 4th spot. Hill is now applying pressure on Stanton as they fly down the hill and through turn 9. Siglin has maintained the gap and comes through next, with Foster 4th, hoping to close on the 3 in front of him. Exiting turn 11 for the run to the halfway flag, Stanton gets a little extra traction, and the front wheel raises, forcing him to roll off just a bit to make it to the start-finish line. This allows Hill to motor up next to him, and the pair are side by side across the line, with Hill taking the lead for the first time in the race. Siglin has actually closed the gap to the front pair, and Foster is doing the same, but not close enough to challenge Siglin. Hill starts to pull away from Stanton as the pair hit turn 2, and Siglin is still closing. Foster has left Mesa alone in 5th, and Ernest is applying pressure on Nakashima too. Great racing action all over the track. Guy has his hands full as Tigert and Gulbranson, among others, are all bearing down. Siglin closes up a little bit more as the pair break for turn 11. He is now on the tail of Stanton. Foster is there too, and it looks like he may be ready to start to apply pressure as a threesome battle for the number 2 spot. Hill continues his charge up front and has a comfortable 2-second lead over the 3 men fighting for the position behind him. Coming into turn 11, Siglin makes a move inside Stanton and grabs the 2nd spot. Across the line, it is Hill with an impressive show of speed, skill, and determination out in front, with Siglin, Stanton, and Foster nose to tail behind. The gap back to the next few is more than a few seconds, and the group up front will determine the podium this week. Foster is looking for a way past Stanton, who just needs to finish near the front to claim the crown. Lap 8 has Hill secure up front, with Siglin ahead of the battle for third. Foster gets a good drive up the hill and slips inside Stanton to take the third position. Wilson continues to hound Ernest in one of his best rides of the year as Gulbranson closes on Nakashima. Hill comes up to traffic going through turn 5 and has to roll out of the throttle, and when he does, he loses the front and goes down at 100 miles per hour. Unhurt, but surely heartbroken, as he had everyone's cards covered. Suddenly Siglin leads the race, and Foster sees an opportunity too, charging harder to get to Siglin's tail. Stanton is now alone in third, with the gap back to Mesa also running alone. Siglin and Foster remain nose to tail, and coming into 11, Foster tries again. Looking to the inside, he can't claim the position and follows Siglin to the white flag. Foster pressures Siglin into turn 1, with Siglin holding a tight line and protecting the spot. The battle continues around the track, and Foster again uses the outside in the carousel to enhance his chance into turn 7. Siglin uses his sideways braking technique to hold the position, and they fly back through the S's. Down the hill, Foster tries again, coming up on the outside of Siglin, but having to back out as they sweep through turn 10. Foster makes the last turn move and dives to the inside. Siglin, a little wider, holds a few inches as they start to accelerate out, and Foster looks to have a shot when the rear breaks loose and he is bucked out of the seat, allowing the R1 man to cross the line for his first ever Formula Pacific win. Foster takes the second spot, and Dave Stanton finishes in third. Rob Mesa comes through next, in fourth. The battle behind is won by Ernest, with Nakashima holding off Gulbranson's nice charge. Stanton is the champion for 2004, and Hill's fall cost him not only the win, but the second and third place in the championship. as Mesa and Siglent both slipped by to claim the number 2 and the number 3 spots. A truly great year of racing has come to an end for the Formula Pacific guys, and we can only hope there is more to come in 2005.